Assalamualaikum. Uh, did not really want to make this video, but feel obligated to. Not because I'm a Superman or I'm a savior or someone, but I do understand that it is a social responsibility. If something is wrong or something is misconstrued in a wrong way, that individuals that are knowledgeable or individuals that have some sense of due diligence or some sense of understanding of what is right to clarify information. So I'm going to give you a fitness example and then move to a religious paradigm. So, there's a lot of information out there in the internet, right? That point established itself, but there should be a social responsibility of individuals that are in that realm not to give wrong information. Okay, for example, if I tell you I'm a physique model and I tell you that blood transfusion will make your muscles grow by 25% and activate myosin and use big terms, you would probably believe me because you're like, oh, this guy is somewhat of has a good physique, or he weighs 300 pounds and has a body fat of 8%. Let me get some blood transfusions. Even worse, if I tell you that, get AIDS, it will spur your muscle growth, you would probably believe me if there isn't any information to say what AIDS does, right? Similarly, and this issue happened with Ian McCarthy. Look up Ian McCarthy. He's a very knowledgeable person, but since he didn't have a good physique, the whole fitness industry speculated him, criticized him. Now, I wanna get this point across to people. I'm not an alim, so I don't give religious advice. Okay, you never see me talk about cars and how fast this exhaust and that exhaust. It's not my realm. I don't offer legal advice. I'm not a lawyer. I don't offer prescription. I'm not a doctor. I know that those guys go to a different level of education, but I do my due diligence. I'm not an alim, but I have a good understanding of Islamic knowledge because I do a lot of research. I read and write. And I haven't seen most people, mainstream people, I'm not talking about alims, that do as much due diligence on information that they're interested about. With that point being said, singers and artists, please don't get Islamic information from them. They're not alims. They don't have the educational background. Forget even being an alim. They're just singers. Okay? They just copy and paste information from Google. What irks me to the nth degree is when you have popular singers, and I can't mention names because this happened recently, and I don't want to. Um, they write this Islamic advice. And since they have a bigger following, because let's face it, they're singers and artists, those guys are more cooler than, people that actually have jurisdiction or people that actually have JD on Islamic knowledge or fiqh or tawheed or creed, right? And because the young generation follows them, they retweet everything, and then Islam becomes a misconstrued information. And it's not even Islam; it's religion itself, and that irks me. If you're a person who has a big following, please do your due diligence before you copy and paste something about Islamic knowledge. There's followers behind you, okay, and they're just gonna copy and paste something because Muslims themselves don't know anything about Islam. Muslims themselves are stupid and illiterate about Islam. And I'm sorry I have to be that blunt, but that is the scenario that we live in. Okay? So when there's issues that social issues such as abortion, domestic violence, polygamy, okay, because this issue was about polygamy, then you have these mom and pop, you have these kids, and I'm gonna call them kids because obviously they don't do their research. They don't have any dalil, right? Dalil is where are you getting, if there's a fatwa, if there's an issue in Islam, in Islam, where are you getting that justification from? They don't have a dalil. They don't have an understanding of correlation of chinks. They don't even know what hadith and Quran is, what sahih and da'if is. Okay, now I'm throwing a lot of terms at you. Why? Because I did my knowledge. Yes, I'm not perfect. I'm not an alim. I don't even consider myself to be a religious person, but you cannot say that I don't do my due diligence in this. And if there's even at this point, if there's a social issue that bothers me or I don't understand a religious issue, I will go to people that have a higher jurisdiction than me. And it's the selective people I trust because I know they've gone through a right form of schooling. They have read the right experience and live in this society, in American society today. You have to understand that issues that are from a religious base, issues such as riba, interest, issues such as abortion and polygamy, all these, there was a time and event, right? There's social issues that occurred in 10th century that might not be present in the 21st century, right? And so you have to understand it from that point. Please don't go to these artists who have no idea of Quran, no idea of social issues, no idea of jurisdiction, and just copy and paste. They're singers. All they care about is having a good voice and a good following base, right? You wouldn't come to me for legal advice. You wouldn't come to me if you have cancer and say, hey, should I go for chemotherapy or something? If you have pain, you're not going to come to me and say, hey, should I get Vicodin or Nordin? I The difference between me and a lot of other people is I know I do my research on some stuff. Obviously, I can't be a subject matter expertise in everything. My so the rant is, don't copy and paste Islamic information that is posted on some singer or something. Hell, don't even take religious advice from me because I'm not an alim, and I'm giving you that. I'm giving that you have the right not to accept religious advice from me because I am not an alim. So if you're not gonna take it from me, don't take it from some other guy who has no idea what the heck he's talking about. And it irks me because that's how information is misconstrued. And when information is misconstrued, that's how people form wrong opinions or they arrive to a wrong conclusion. Because let's face it, people are lazy. They don't research. If they research, then the supplement industry wouldn't be a $6 million company that it is. Do your research. Go to the right people that know the right thing, and you would know how they have the right information, the way they talk, the way they present their information, and the way they approach you on certain issues. Jazakallah khair.